Welcome to the virtual consultation.
Feminist movement is only belonging to the women. It is not about that.
If you look at the larger feminist movement as an organism that also needs to have like membership, have different kinds of inclusions, what is missing? Who is making the decisions?
Global South की voices बहुत कम थी या almost missing थी.
Feminist youth leadership was getting a lot of traction, but a lot of that was happening from a northern anglophone perspective.
Young लोगों के साथ feminist leadership building में कुछ तो करना था, ये पता था. कैसे करना है उसकी भी थोड़ी सी सोच थी, लेकिन एक साथी संस्था हमें चाहिए थी जिनके साथ मिलके हम ये इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके, क्योंकि यूएन वुमेन के लिए डायरेक्टली इतने सारे युवा लोगों को लाना और उनका क्रियान्वयन करना इतना संभव नहीं था.
India has the largest population of young people ever before seen in the history of the world. Young people, therefore, are critical in reaching the Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, it's our commitment at UN Women to continue to promote the voice and leadership of young people, especially young women, and to support youth participation in decision making. The Young Feminist Leadership Programme is part of this effort.
There is a bit of crisis when you are trying to understand the feminist leadership.
But although it's not articulated, there are principles of feminism which we can see, coming the way we're talking about systemic shift.
सारा काम जो है वो silos में हो रहा है.
दुनिया में पावर गिव अप करने की जरूरत है ताकि फेमिनिस्ट नजरिए को ज्यादा और ताकत मिल सके.
महिलाओं को, ट्रांसजेंडर को और दलित को अपने मुद्दों को उठाना पड़ेगा.
जेंडर की सोच मतलब अभी जीरो है, तो इस पे तो हमें जमीनी स्तर पे काम करना होगा.
Where are we even capturing the histories that have never been told?
Youth representations इनमें हमने कई बार स्ट्रगल किया है, क्योंकि हम जब विकलांग अधिकारों में काम करते हैं या विकलांग व्यक्तियों के साथ काम करते हैं तो हमें यूथ को थोड़ा सा बड़ी उम्र में ले जाना पड़ता है.
Just the general environmental climate movement is viewed by the public as either a very elitist movement or a topic or an issue that only tribals and Adivasis have to work with.
The feminist movement जो है, उस जर्नी में queer feminist movement का बहुत बड़ा contribution है.
Who are we to be doing this leadership building? What is our local stand-by?
Problem is that there is a lot of now buzz around youth. Idea of youth itself is completely one-dimensional. In all senses, it reflects maybe a Western white youth, or in the Indian sense, of course, it is a Savarna cis male youth who is abled.
It's a lot about upholding certain, high ethical parameters as well.
Gender at Work India's approach to feminist youth leadership building is to hold space, bring people together and create a community to collectivize, organize and strengthen voices across different identities.
We already understand that youth have the power to bring about social change. This was an opportunity to really advance the discourse on feminist leadership.
The work we're trying to do really requires some sort of cross-sectoral convergence, and I think in that sense we're at a fantastic vantage point as Gender at Work to bring those knowledges together, not because we know everything, but because we somehow are well placed to facilitate everything.
We received actually more than 300 applicants. उसमें से ये लोग चिन्हित किए गए और इस कोहॉर्ट का निर्माण किया गया. The scope of possibilities is endless when you provide a space for such dynamic people to come together.
Why are you killing people in the name of Section 377? We are also human beings, we also have dignity.
So it's a small microcosmic experimentation that we hope there are principles and values embedded within that we hope can act as templates that can be, representative of the movement at large, but also smaller movements elsewhere.
Find that partner. सिर्फ अपने और हमारे पार्टनर, हमारे जो साथी हैं, वहाँ पर हम अपना ध्यान रखेंगे.
We took on this ambitious project of bringing feminist youth leaders across India because of the shrinking spaces to discuss, discourse, be together and build a collective voice and vision.
When I talk about the feminist lab, I just fly away to the word lab because that is why I came here. It's a lab. It embodies one of the most important elements of feminism for me, for change, that is experimentation. There can be no change without experimentation. And the lab is a space for change. It is inherently messy, it is inherently honest, it is authentic. It's beautiful in that sense. There is so much hurt, there is so much healing, there is space for everything. That's what makes it a lab.
हम चाहते हैं कि एक ऐसा दुनिया हो जहाँ पे लोग नारीवाद को समझ सकें और महिलाओं के जो अधिकार हैं उसके बारे में वो सोच सकें.
जेंडर को लेकर मेरे मन में अलग अलग सवाल आ रहे थे. बहुत सारे सवाल को मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा था. ये सब समझने के लिए मैं फेमिनिस्ट लीडरशिप लैब से जुड़ा.
In order to be a climate activist, you need to be a feminist and come from an understanding of social context.
This is the first group where we have so many of queer people.
And when you bring 30 people who are free thinking, it is not going to be an easy task. There comes a lot of challenges and which manifest in so many forms, in conflicts, in solidarity, in friendship.
Changes that were happening as we kept on making sure that the contact does not break.
हम सबकी कहानियाँ अलग हैं. हम सभी के लिए जाति, आइडेंटिटी, सेक्सुअलिटी, जेंडर, हर किसी के मायने अलग हो सकते हैं.
How do we fit our situated context in the space?
मेरी यहाँ क्या जगह है? Or you may feel angry at patriarchy, or you may feel angry at your mother's socialization. Those feelings carry political weight.
दिल्ली में अगर पहुँचना है तो दिल्ली में बैठना पड़ेगा. और इसलिए नहीं कि हमें ही बैठना है, इसलिए कि हमें अपने ज़मीन के लोगों को भी यहाँ पे लाना है.
We are told that okay, whatever we are feeling is not right, so automatically we start gaslighting ourselves.
That frustration is the way in which I know there is a room of solidarity.
That this work is hard. It takes a lot from you to be present in this space, be aware about your agency. उस पूरे rawness को बाहर लेकर आना, लोगों के सामने रखना, उसके साथ लोगों के बारे में भी जानना और लोगों के बारे में भी सुनना और उनके फेमिनिस्ट प्रिंसिपल्स के बारे में आप जानना. It's not easy because that's something we don't learn.
Starting from the point you all met for the first time in August until now, what has been the journey and where do you want to take it forward?
I went back after the August lab with a lot more curiosity to understand, nuances of gender and sexuality at large.
The voice has already been there, but you have not been listening. So don't put it on us that we do not know how to speak. We have been speaking.
Pass the mic. It's not that you only will hold, no matter whatever your background is, but then along with all the people, is it equally distributed or not.
We are trying to create a voice in a region where there has never been any dialogue about our community.
हमरे गरीबन का चटनी और रोटी,
हमरे गरीबन का चटनी और रोटी,
पानी पिए बालू वाला नल से, पानी पिए बालू वाला नल से, कहब तो लग जाए धक से.
For the first time we saw all of us together as one cohort.
मैं सबसे पहले लोगों को बाइनरीज में देखना बंद करूँगी यहाँ से निकलने के बाद.
I hope that in the next 5 years, people become willing and capable of having difficult conversations.
क्योंकि समाज जो है दो आदमी से समाज नहीं बन पाता है, कम से कम तीसरा होना चाहिए.
What has started in this lab is going to take some sort of form, some beautiful form. Even though it's the end of the lab, I see this as a beginning.
The world is rapidly changing. The feminist discourses are rapidly changing, and we cannot just sit with our own idea of what feminism looks like or what movement looks like.
We need to keep doing this work so that we are present, we are able to be there, create love, care, let people rest, and take this movement forward.